Obviously, I've chosen to do a deep dive study into uh, biblical law on marriage, divorce, and remarriage, emphasizing that which God joined together and to let no man take apart. Antinomianism. Um, this is likened unto what becomes, if you ever choose to look at a Greek dictionary, you'd see root words and word parts and suffixes and prefixes joined together to form new meanings. And it goes rather extreme in the Greek form of building words through word parts, basically. And I can't help but notice that this word part right here is a transliterated form of the word one in Matthew 19:5, and in fact it goes into different words. Uh, Nomian is a word unto itself, um, as is uh, nomos, but nomos is not inherently this word here because it goes only to the nom, and then it's no longer the nomos or law word. So a law word is being joined together to the word one um, to establish uh, something of a compound word of law compared to one. And in fact, incorporating it together into one word. That's what Greek does is form words with how to build words, component parts of, and of course this is a suffix, but to some meanings, IAN is also a suffix, and of course that's a prefix, um, and that's what I can't help but consider in this word. And I don't know if you recall what what happens over in Matthew 19:5, but over here it's uh, it's affirmed that transliterated word MIAN is the word one, and that's the original Greek word here, um, which is modified over in verse 6 so extremely that is another word one, as you recall, and that's MIA, but it came by way of processing MIAV over to MIA by way of taking apart something that is brought about by um, a war of wills of who is your host. And when you choose wrongly and start to take that which God joined together apart, you have the essence of what to say no to. No, don't take that apart. Don't take MIAV apart into MIA. And then you go back to where the no came from on that which is originally joined together as MIAV or MIAN transliterated. Um, Say no to taking it apart, no to MIA, no to a war of wills, no to, and pretty soon you got word meanings that, um, well, all of the law of the commandments come together into the word one, basically. Um, One commandment is the first commandment that all come together into as when you disobey, you're not letting God be God. And all the examples under that are examples of not letting God be God. And that's how much the commandments and the law and one come together. You might wonder how the word nomian comes in to play in word meanings. And of course, this is how to build words differently other than biblical Greek. And as you can see, there's some guidance to the meaning here, as there's one. Oh shoot, there's one right there. It's right there. There it is. Of course, they don't exactly clarify where it is and how you gained it, but there it is. And for example, over here it says that it wasn't even a word in English, at least, until 1800s, where it was borrowing from Greek combined with an English element. And of course, the English element is depending on what you call the English element and what you're looking at. From the transliterated one, that's English element also. But they want to point at the IEN suffix as the English element. And that's an example of be careful who you ask. You might get the wrong answer if you ask the wrong definer, let's say. Uniquely, one of the word parts is right here, of which I've more recently listened to the Pope as his Angelus prayer, which is basically his Sunday morning service. And even with his thick Italian tongue, I extract almost an English understanding to his use of the word nominalism. So he uses it as his closing statement to his benediction prayer. And of course, benediction is end of service. His final quote tends to say, I tell you nothing, nominalism only. And in that, he's saying, I am within the bounds and tell you nothing except God's law. I choose to turn to the Methodist understanding here that says that we've somewhat lost our way in building rules to abide by denominationally and in sanctification, where we try to help the sinner find their way. And this is a book of discipline of how the Methodist Church responds to some major sins in particular, not permitting them to be in right standing with the people of the Methodist Church, let's say. But this doctor author suggests that while we try to build rules to help, sometimes we lose sight of the fact that we're trying to bring them to Christ instead of send them away. And so it's a bit of a difficult balance between guiding them and excluding them. So, how to find your way and not get lost in your journey of becoming the perfect one who brings word value in spousal marriage. And that brings me forward to when really I see catastrophes in the church on marriage and divorce.